From here, we can layer this steps further right now. So right here, we have our decisions and the emotions or the mood that matches each of the quadrants. But there's also, within the emotion, there's also a mindset. So whichever mood you're in, there is a matching mental pattern. The mental pattern will say this, okay? So the mental pattern in category 1 says, I can do this, right? So whenever you're in a category 1 state, this is a state, right? So if you're in a mood or this state and something happens externally, internally, your mental tape player that keeps playing or track is going to say, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, right? It's going to say that. If you are in this state, category 2 or mood, your energy is lower, but your skill is still high. So what you kind of will say to yourself, your internal tape player or recorder in this section, your mind is going to say, I don't have to, right? So right now it's, I don't have to. Sort of if you're relaxing and you're kicking back and you're taking in, you're receptive and you're taking your break. Other things, you may know you need to do things. There's stuff you have to do that day. But when you're in this state, in this place, right, your mood and attitude, and something comes up, your response in a positive way is, I don't have to right now. You know that you're going to recover, your energy is going to come up, and then you can do it here. So you oscillate between when you're recovering multiple times a day in little 20-minute chunks, that's the I don't have to, the sitting back and receptive. And then as that 20-minute period kind of comes to an end and your energy starts to rise back up naturally in your ultradian rhythm, you start to say, I can do this, and you take it on, right? So that's a perfect balance of energy for the day. On the opposite side over here, when we feel in this state, when we're in this state or mood, right, our mental pattern says, I have to, and it doesn't want to. I have to. It's a very anxious, like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. There's a feeling that gives you tension, right? That tension could be anger, I have to do this and I don't want to. Anxiety, I have to do this and I don't want to, right? Either way, it's energy is high, ability to handle it is not. So the mood or state resonates with the emotion of anxiety or anger via tension, and the internal dialogue will just say to you in this place, whenever you're in this place, you're going to hear in your mind, I have to, right? And then when you're over here, low energy, not a lot of ability to handle it, we say naturally just, I just can't, right? So this is the place where you just can't. You can't make it to work that day. You can't do what you need to do. You can't work out. Your internal dialogue will naturally resonate in this state saying, I can't. Okay, so the 4 states that we have, category 1's mental state, if anything comes up, your mental state will just repeat and say, I can do this automatically. It's not you as much, it's the state you're in, and that's how your brain will work. When you're in this state, your brain will say, I don't have to do this now. Knowing that, it'll take care of it later. See how these connect? When you're in this state, you feel I have to in a not positive way, right? This is I don't have to in a positive way. This is I have to in a negative way, right? Very anxious or angry because it creates tension. I have to and I don't want to, right? And down here, energy low, sense of ability low, we live in our mental state says, I can't now. Just can't see the other side. If the North Star is up here, if this is your sun and everything makes sense and this is what you're trying to, your vision is up here, I can't, seem so far away, I can't cross this threshold, I can't get there, right? So this is where we move from 4 to 3, I can't, get some energy, get fired up, listen to music, do what I have to do until you get into this category 3 state. Now that you have the energy, category 2 decision will move you as your energy comes back down into this calm, relaxed, positive side. And then the natural evolution of that is into this side. So this is sort of the direction we're going to go. If we're here, we're going to go up And then from there, right, over, and then that naturally goes up. And then the physical response matches as well, right? So mind, emotions, body. If you're in category 1, your mind naturally will process, always say, I can do this. The emotions feel happy and in control and just flowing. And the body feels automatically graceful, smooth, and athletic. A byproduct of being in this state, get that, a byproduct of being in this state, having your energy up and your sense of ability high, is you say to yourself, I can do this automatically. You feel your emotions as happy and calm, not controlling you in a good way, right? They're helping you. And your physical sense of body feels graceful, feels very smooth, and feels very athletic. Right? So the opposite of this, right? If you're over here, let's pull it this way, is you say, I have to, as in you don't want to, and your physical body feels jerky and tense and rigid. I don't know if I spelled rigid right. But we feel jerky, intense. Let me erase that. So here, we feel more, our physical body feels more jerky or tense, the opposite of smooth, right? The inverse. So over here, we're graceful and smooth and athletic. Here, we're more jerky, intense, and unathletic. Okay? And down here, as we relax more, we still feel pretty graceful and smooth and athletic, but we feel calm and relaxed in it. So we're not necessarily doing it, but we feel like if we had to, we could tap into that. And down here, the opposite. As we move ourselves down, we go from sort of jerky, intense, and tight to here, we're just, as we're depressed, we are sluggish and we move slow, right? So our physical body, depending on which state we're in, will change. The same as our mental and our emotional bodies, right? So our mind, emotion, and body, if we want them all to be linked and integrated, we want to use the decision matrix to allow the right mind, emotion, body combination to be more on this side. Because we're going to oscillate. We can't just say, I want to be high energy all the time. We're going to oscillate. So are we going to oscillate from over here where we're jerky and tense and sluggish and slow and say I have to and I can't and feel sad and depressed and angry and anxious? Or are we going to do category 2s up here, shift ourselves over, and then go on to feeling happy and flow and calm and relaxed in the mindsets of I can and I don't have to in a good way. And we feel graceful and smooth and athletic. Okay, so understand our decision matrix allows and helps us allow and dictate the state we're in. And the state we're in helps, allows, and dictates how our mind thinks, the emotions that we feel, and how our physical body actually moves through time and space at that given state.